do anything anymore. You do whatever the minority wants. If one person wants to do it at 8 o'clock, you got to change everybody's schedule to do it at 8 o'clock because that one person don't want to be offended. Oh, I'm sorry. Those days are over. Okay, let's take our handy dandy worksheet, Excel worksheet, and I want to pull one up. I'm just going to make one up, and I want y'all to actually do the math. Do as much as you can. And if you can do all of it, then happy birthday. You're a scholastic. Yeah, you're a scholastic god or goddess. Those of you who don't know how to do everything, then that's who we're teaching to. So I'm going to go with 10, 12, 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21. Okay, now I want you to figure out everything you can figure out about these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 numbers there, so n is equal to 11. Now the other day, we did mean, median, mode. This is all we're doing today. Mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. And with also, when we did that, we did the normal distribution curve, and we also did the 5-number summary. I'll put the 5-number summary up here. 5-number summary. We'll do that right in that area. And we'll do the normal distribution right over here. Okay, so think about, it's 9:54 right now. Let's take about 6 minutes and let y'all work on that. Use your calculator, do it by hand, however you want to do it. When I say calculator, I want you to use your calculator on your phone. Don't use your TI unless you're doing I don't want you putting numbers in the TI and spitting it out. We're not there yet. I don't want to do that yet. I'll show you how to do that after everybody can do it by hand or Excel spreadsheet. I'm glad to see that he's getting the Keystone Pipeline and the Dakota Pipeline started back.
He's already a huge team on the wall. He's already got a huge team on the wall.
You're talking about lower gas prices, you're talking about jobs, and we might lose a lizard. We might lose a lizard, and we might lose an antelope somewhere down the road. But
Yeah.
I'm ready to drill, baby, drill up in Alaska. That's where I want to drill. I'm tired of us depending on Saudi Arabia for all of our OIL. Oh, he threw that out the door.
I was confused about what it was in the first place.
It was basically another NAFTA. Another NAFTA. Give all our companies the freedom to go other countries, basically.
But the problem is the NAFTA or the TPP run the operation.
Yeah.
They say what countries can do that.
Yeah. It'd be like, you know, you letting people come into your house and they would set the rules in your house. Huh? That don't work, does it? Okay, that window out there, somebody pull those two down. That windshield out there is blinding me. Pull those two down, please. Every time I look over there, I get. Yeah, it's dang old Russian. Put it there. I don't know why it cuts off. I never cut it off. The what you call it Nazi cuts it off.
I don't think you know.
Well, I could have cut off yesterday. There might be somebody in here last night because I was here at 2:30 yesterday. Let me turn on the do jigger so I can turn it up. Yeah, he done took that off the board too. The 2PP, he done. I love everything he's doing so far.
That's why you got all those unions sitting there.
And the unions and the Democrats were going, yeah. And the media didn't even cover that. CNN didn't say anything about that. The unions going with the Republicans saying, yeah, you're doing right.
Did you see the CNN's picture of the inauguration?
I don't watch CNN. I don't watch them at all.
They cut a photo out. The place was half empty. And they said, oh, he didn't have a mandate after all.
Well, I hate to say it, but those people were probably working on it. That's probably why they couldn't go to the inauguration.
You were in Desert Storm.
Yeah.
What did you do?
You got a question? Come on up.
Were you on the ships?
No, I was EOD. I was with,
EOD?
yeah,
You know something?
I was in Kuwait.
I forgot what it means.
What's that?
This shirt has variance, don't remember. This
Variance, yeah. In other words, take the mean away from each x,
Okay.
and then square each, and then add them all up, and that's your mean rate. And then n minus 1 will be 10. And then whatever that number is your variance, which I really don't care about. Take the square root of the variance, and that's your standard deviation, which I do care about. That's how you do it.
So for this one, I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna give them out of my English notes. I'm gonna get each one of these.
You're gonna take the mean away from each one of those, and make another column.
Okay.
And it's gonna be negatives and positives, and then you're gonna square each one of those, and then you add them all
And
up.
the bottom one is 10 minus?
Well, n, what's the n? N is 11, so 11 minus 1 is 10.
I guess I should have said that.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna do the first one for everybody right here. You know what I think is going to happen eventually? I think the Democrats are going to be chastised for holding up what he's doing. I think eventually people are going to start saying, why don't y'all get with the program?
There was a lot of negative reaction to you. You remember when
Yeah.
he broke into it and Schumer was berating him?
Yeah, and Schumer said, where were you 8 years ago? And he said, I was fighting for this country.
Yeah.
Shut him up real quick.
Schumer couldn't say that because he's a winner.
Uh-huh. Here's the first row right there. So you should get those two numbers and then of course do that on each one. And then right here, you're going to add that column up. So I'll go ahead and copy it down for you so you can check your numbers. And if you don't get those numbers, then you should just consider yourself a failure. Give everybody maybe another minute. At least to get the mean. And at the standard deviation. 12 and 21 is the mode, right? Range is equal to this one minus this one. Mid-range is equal to this one plus this one divided by 2. The variance is equal to this number divided by 10. Right? And then this number is equal to this number raised to the 0.5 power. And I'll mark this one green. Box around it because it's important. And mark this one green. And box around it. Now the normal distribution equal to the mean, and we'll color that green. And the reason I do that is because I always get students, and how did you get that again? Well, if I color it green, you'll see that it's coming from right here. And equals this number plus this number equals this number plus this number plus this number plus this number. And then we go to the left, we subtract it. And there's your normal distribution. So you take your handy dandy curve. And 95% is going to fall between two standard deviations. And then 2.5% or 2.2%, and 2.2% is going to be unusual. There should be a U there. A U here. And that's unusual magenta. This part right here is unusual. And then outside of unusual is 0.3%. And 0.3. And that is called outliers. Color that red. Right there is called the outliers. Now every time you do one of these, you need to do this because you need to get used to this. Empirical rule. Okay. Now the 5-number summary. 5-number summary consists of the mean, the max, the first quartile, the second quartile, and the third quartile. Okay. The mean is 10. The max is 21. The second quartile is equal to the median, which is 16. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your first quartile, 12. 1, 2, 3. There's your. So there's your 5-number summary. Now, the first thing you do with a 5-number summary is draw your number line. And min is 10, max is 21, and the midpoint, mid-range is 16, 15.5. And all you're doing here is you're just making something that you can measure on. Okay? That's what you're doing. You're just making a number line. You're not doing anything out of the box. You're just making a number line. So halfway between 10 and 16 is 16. Half of 16, half of 6 is what? 3. That'll be 13 here, 19 here. And then you can go here, 10 to 13 is 3, 1.5 is what? 11.5, 11.5. Then this would be 14.5, 17.5, and 20.5. Now you've got enough marks to where you can actually put the box plot up. And the box plot is this right here. So 12 is right in here. And 20 is right in here. And 16 is right in here. So it's a normal distribution. Because this is your median, and this is your what? Mid-range. And let's see, what's the mean? Mean is equal to 16, the median is equal to 16, and the mid-range is equal to 16. So what can you deduce from that about your data? It's tight, it's valid. And that's what you should be able to tell. That is about 5 sections in your book. All this is about three or four sections. And I've found that the best way to teach it is all together, and then you just do it over and over and over and over, and that way you know what you're doing because it's all together. Instead of doing 3 parts here and 1 part here and then 3 parts here and then trying to remember all that, it's better just to do it over and over and over and over. Now, watch what happens if I was to put a couple outliers in there. And all I have to do, and you don't have to do this, I'm just showing you. Let's say you put a 3 here and put a 42 here. And look what it does to the mean. What's the mean? 17.4. What's the median? 16. And then look at the midpoint. Where's the mid-range? 22.5. Now you look at those 3 numbers and tell me what you deduce from those 3 numbers. That your numbers are out of wampus. That there's something wrong with your data. Now, wrong is not a good word to use. There's something inconsistent about your data. Because just because somebody, you got a 3-year-old taking a class and 42-year-old taking a class, that's not negative. It's just not normal. Okay? So that's why you have to take those into account. Now, if you have more control over it, like an experiment versus a survey, then you can knock the 42 and the 3 out. But that's the difference between a survey and an experiment. An experiment, you have a little bit more control than a survey. Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. Okay, for your variance, right here, the first thing you do is x minus x bar. So you take 10 and you subtract 16.09, 12 minus, and you do that for every single number. Then you square that number. So -6, all these are going to be positive. That's what you're doing, is you're getting rid of the negatives. And then you add all those together, and there's your number. And that goes in the numerator of the variance. And then you divide by 10. All right? Any other question? What?
I know just know how you get the minimum, and that's how you get the
Okay, the second one, the second quartile is always the what? The median. All right, so I can't highlight this, but maybe there. The second is the median. Now, once you establish the median, you put you a block right there and count how many numbers are above it. How many numbers are above the median? 5, so pick the middle number. And there it is. So we'll color that gray and color this gray. Okay? And now, count the bottom. It's going to be the same as the top. It's going to be 5. So 20 is your third quartile. No, I better not use gray. Exactly. There you go. Any other questions? All right, now let's do something different. Yesterday, the day y'all came back, whenever y'all came last week or this week, whatever, Monday or Tuesday, I gave you about the same type problem. I think there was 11, but let's do one with 12 and see what changes. So let's go down here. Let me erase this because I want to see it again. There we go. Let's go down here and let's say that n is equal to 12. And there's going to be 21, 21, 22, or 21, 22, 25, 30, 31, 31, 31, 32. Let's see. 33 and 35. I think that's 12. Okay, now do the same thing we did before, except that instead of 11, we're going to be doing it with 12. Not much difference, but again, in order to get good at this, you got to practice it over and over and over and over. I've already done the mean and the median for you. Check it with yours and see if you got the right answer. Okay, my complaint of the day is getting on the elevator and cologne and perfume. Okay, perfume and cologne is to be sprayed, and that is usually just one little spray. If you get on the elevator and people are fainting, you've got too much on. I got on the elevator this morning and it smelled like I was in a perfume factory. And it was old lady perfume. It wasn't good perfume. It was old lady, crotchety lady perfume. It was nasty. So if you wear old lady perfume, you need to throw it away. It smells like flowers. Perfume so smells good. Yeah, like vanilla, like dang old cherry blossom, dang old Japanese cherry blossom, dang old something good, not dang old flowers. It's nasty. And another thing, one other thing, if you smoke 8 packs of cigarettes a day, don't get on the elevator because you stink up the elevator. Now, I know nobody in here smokes 8 packs a day, so I'm being facetious, but you stink. How do you know if you stink? When you're off the elevator and people can still smell you, you stink. I wouldn't come up here with pig manure all over my boots and stink up the elevator. You don't need to stink up the elevator either. All right, my bitching session is over. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna bitch about today is stinking up the elevator. Y'all know what I'm talking about, don't you? Y'all seen it, y'all smelled it. Woo! Next time somebody does it, I'm gonna come up here with my pig boots and I'm just gonna leave them in the elevator. See how y'all like it. I have to say y'all because if I say one certain person, then somebody will say I'm picking on me. So I say y'all to everybody. That's all my classes. I have to make everything generic because everybody gets offended. I told y'all about taking one of my classes to the Mexican restaurant, didn't I? I didn't tell y'all that. One day, it was about a 12 o'clock class, and I said, you know, I really don't feel like teaching today. There was about 6, 7 in the class that came that day. And I said, let's go eat.
Yeah, you told.
I thought I did. My treat.
Maybe it was the other one.
Might have been the 110 class. And I took them down to El Herrero's down here. 6 or 7 of them, and I was going to pay for it. By the time I got down there, do y'all know where El Herrero's is? Not 3 miles down the road here. Okay? By the time I got down there, I got a phone call from my department. One of your students called and said that you forced your students to go to eat lunch with you. I said, I'm not going to even comment on that. I said, I'm not even going to. But what's the rule? There's always what? Out of those 6 people, one of them called my department head and said that we didn't have class today, that I was taking everybody that I was forcing everybody to eat lunch with me. Gotta love it. Some people just need a girlfriend or boyfriend or both. How many of you would sit there and go, okay, my teacher's taking me out to lunch today. I'm going to call his department head and fuss. Yeah. But it don't take me 6 minutes to get down there. In 6 minutes, 3 or 4 miles, I got a phone call. She said, she laughed. She was kidding. She said, yeah, they said you forced it. I said, I'm not even going to comment. I said, that don't even deserve a reply. She said, have a good lunch. Because she knows I do stuff like that. I'll buy pizzas and I'll... Huh? Oh yeah, I knew who it was because, like I said, she needs a boyfriend. She did. She needed a life. She just fussed about everything.
You need a girlfriend?
No. That's one damn thing I do not need. I don't go around telling on people for taking me out to lunch either. Oh yes, he didn't have class today. He told everybody to go eat lunch with him. Somebody bring me a biscuit, I'm gonna say thank you. I'm not gonna say, oh, where'd you get, what kind is it? Where'd you get it?
I only eat grass fed.
All right, so here we go. So x minus x bar equals x minus x bar. Now, I'm going to tell you about F4 here. F is in Foxtrot 4, this top of the keyboard. And that's called a locking mechanism. The reason you use that is because when you copy down and you don't use that, it's going to copy this number next, and it's going to copy this number next, which there is no number, and this number, and you're going to get a bunch of errors, or errors, depending on where you're from. So if you use the same number for each cell, so 21 minus 6, or 27, 21 minus 27, 21 minus 27, I'm using this number the same time, each time. So I need to lock it, because if I don't, it's going to read this number for this row. I would show you, but I already locked it. Well, I'll show you. Hold on. Unlock it. Okay, and I don't lock it. Then when I copy it down, it's going to give me 21 minus... It's going to give me 21 minus 30.5 on the next one. And that's wrong. Okay? And the next one is going to give me an error or an error, depending on where you, well, it's not supposed to, because there's no number there. Oh, 21 minus 0 is 21. Usually what it does, if there's nothing there, it gives you an ERR, which is an error or an error. So if you're going to use Excel or start using Excel, just remember, when you do x minus x bar, you have to hit F4, Foxtrot 4, and then copy it down. And then you'll get the right numbers. And then, of course, you need to square that. No more sneezing in class. Yeah. No coughing, no sneezing, and no yawning. The only thing you can do in here is breathe. That way you can complain to my department head. All right, so there's that. And now that's your variance is equal to that. Oh, I got to add it up, sorry. Add it up. And that's your numerator of your variance. And that's equal to this number divided by parentheses, this number minus what? 1. And then your standard deviation is this number raised to the 0.5 power. Oh yeah, the mode. That's so important. What's the mode? 31? I think it's 31, isn't it? Oh, I thought there was only 2. No, there's 3 of each. So there's 21 and 31. I thought I'd only did 2 21s. Oh well, I don't care about the mode anyway. If you get the mode wrong, don't tell anybody, because then they'll think something's wrong with you. And that's equal to 35 minus 21. And the mid-range is equal to 35 plus 21 divided by 2. Okay, now I want you to do the normal distribution, and I want you to do the 5-number summary by yourself. If you haven't done it yet, because now you have all the numbers to do it, except for the first and second. Now, I will tell you this. When you, okay, this median right here, where is that median in these numbers right here? It's between, it's right there where that cross is. So how many numbers are above that cross? 6. So you've got to find the median by the middle what? By the middle 2. So I'll mark those in a color. Let's do orange. And then I'll mark these 2 in a color. Can't do purple. Purple is too dark. And that's that number right there. So you got to do the average on those 2, because if you have an even number for n, you're going to have an even number for your medians on the top and the median on the bottom. So you're going to have to do 3 averages. 1 for the median, 1 for the upper median, and 1 for the lower median, or upper median and lower median. That's the difference between odd number and even. Yes, ma'am.
I was trying to think if we did the deviation, what did you rate it to?
0.5, which is the square root.
Okay.
0.5 and square root, same thing. So on your calculator, just do the square root. Okay. Okay, well just, you're going to have to find something to take the square root of 28.38636. Now remember, I told y'all to try to keep everything to the 4th or 5th decimal place. So if you have to, just encircle everything like this, and then go up to right click and go to format, go to number, and raise it to 5 decimal places. That way you've got everything taken care of. And then at the end, when you find the normal, whatever you find, then you take that number and you raise it, you round it to the nearest 10th or 100th, depending on the directions. Now, in order for you to depend on the directions, you have to, what? The directions. Read the directions. We only got 2 guys in here, so those are the only 2 that don't read directions pretty well. The rest of y'all do pretty good. I don't need no directions. I know, just give me the picture. I'll put it together. Johnny's bicycle falls apart and he's in the ditch. The girlfriend or the wife standing back there going, what's all these little parts? Oh, those are extra. Johnny got a broke leg. I don't know. Just give me a picture. Speaking of that, speaking of people doing something stupid, there was this actor, I don't know if she's an actor or a comedian, but I had no idea what her name was. I forgot it. Chelsea, yeah. She's what?
She actually has written a book before about her.
Well, she's about unknown, and I guess she just called herself a celebrity. She had the dumbest statement about Melania Trump. She said, well, I wouldn't have Melania on my show because she can't even speak English.
She doesn't even have a show.
The woman can speak 5 languages.
Yeah.
How smart do you have to be to speak 2 languages? She speaks 5. I love how these, and all the Hollywood videos that you see are all these people that think they're celebrities. That last video, I have no idea who half those people are.
Yeah.
That shows you how big their ego is.
I don't believe them.
I'm a celebrity. You may not know me, but I'm a celebrity. Well, the only one I knew on the first video was Iron Man and Iron Man's sidekick and 9mm Girl on the Avengers, which she don't even need to be an Avenger. But, so that takes care of the Marvel comics for me. I will not watch any of them anymore, and I will not watch 9mm Girl. I will not watch them anymore either. If you want to vote who you vote for, that's fine. But don't sit there and tell people how to vote. That makes me so mad. It irritates me. What? I'm a Hollywood actor. You're supposed to look up to me and you're supposed to do what I tell you to do. And here's a picture of my unicorn. I live in a fairyland with chocolate mountains, candy mountains. Some people in here have no idea what I'm talking about. Ma'am? Well, they live in a fantasy land. Well, guess what? Neither does America. Well, it's kind of hard to take somebody serious when they live in a state that has the highest homeless rate in the nation, and they talk about income equality. How many of them has taken a couple of those homeless people in and given them $30,000 a year to get off the, how many of them have done that? Did she? I don't know anything about it. Who is she? Oh yeah, I don't get into it. That's all that sorcery stuff. I don't get into that. I just get into, dolls that terrorize you. That's what I get into. Yeah, no, not that. Annabelle. Annabelle didn't do nothing during the whole movie. She just sat there.
Did you go see school?
No, I'm going
I
to.
didn't see it either.
I might go see it tonight because I don't have my son tonight, so I might go see it tonight. Huh? Yeah, so he'd be Trump. No, he wants to go see it. He wants to go see Split. He wants to go see it. They said that it's real good. Okay, here we go. 5-number summary. The median 22 plus 21 divided by 2 and 32 plus 31 divided by 2, and there's your 5-number summary. We'll go ahead and put that in here. I'll do it on the board. Need your number line first. So just make you a number line. Make it how long you want to, it doesn't matter. 21 right here. 35 right here. The mid-range is what? Midpoint is 28. Now you just have to take half and half and half and half until you get as many graduations or tick marks as you want. I usually want to get 3 on each side. That's just me. So 21 to 28 is 7. Half to 7 is 3.5 or 3 or 4. So that's 24. And then 21, so half of that would be 23, somewhere in there. And then that would be 26, somewhere in there. And then half of that, 28, 35, we said that was what, 7? So 4 would be 32, and 30, and 33. Now, a lot of you saying, well, you're not doing the decimals. People, you're just doing a number line, okay? You're just trying to graduate a number line so you can plot what? Those 3 numbers. It's not rocket science. It's not going to blow up if you decimal off, okay? It's just the number line. So 21.5, that's 22. So 22 is going to be right in here. 32 is going to be right here. And then the middle is 31. 31 is going to be right in here. Now, what does that tell you? Something is skewed left, isn't it? Because all your data, or most of your data, is on the right-hand side because your center is moved over a little bit from the 28. So think of it like a seesaw. You got 2 or 3 people on this end of the seesaw. You got 5 or 6 on this end of the seesaw. In order to balance it out, you're going to have to move the fulcrum toward the one with less weight. See what I'm saying? So that's what you're thinking about with the skewness. Here is the middle, I think. There's the middle. So you've got the mean over here, or the median. That means that your weight is on this side. So that means that this side's flattening out, so it's skewed what? The left side is skewed. This is the left side. The left side is skewed, so it's skewed what? Right. Okay? All right, so what would do that? Look at your numbers. Well, I would say this number right here would do it. That number right there. Because what do you notice about all these numbers except for that one? All these numbers right here, what do you notice about them? They're only what? 1 off right in here? They're only like 1 off. Well, this one right here is 3 off, but right here you're still 1 off. So I'd say that 35 has a lot to do with it. If you change that to a 22, a 33 or a 34, then you would see this. You'd see this change, and this would come a little bit more this way. Normal distribution. Now, what I just showed you starts with an I. Does anybody know what that word is? Talking about languages, what do you do if you can tell what another person is saying? What do you call that? No. Languages. Interpreters. So what did we just do with those numbers in relation to the median? We did what? We interpreted it, and we are reading the numbers and saying, well, wait a minute. When you did this right here, some of you should have said, wait a minute, that's not right. And if you did, then you're interpreting. You're following exactly what I want you to do. If you're sitting there going, that's a pretty purple, then you're missing the train and the boat. Okay? This line right here should have been a flag. And you should have said to yourself, wait a minute, this is something ain't right. And that 35 down there is probably the reason this is moving over a little bit. Here we got and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the decimals because I don't feel like doing it. So the mean is 28, and the standard deviation is 5. So 28 plus 5 is what? 33. 33 plus 5 is 38. 38 plus 5 is 43. 28 minus 5 is 23. 23 minus 5 is 18. Y'all check me. And then 18 minus 5 is 13. So 95% is going to fall right here between 38 and 30 and 18. Then your unusual is going to be here, and then your outliers are going to be here. So if this is a classroom with ages, then anybody below 13 would be an outlier. Anybody above 43 would be an outlier. And that's what you're doing with these numbers. You ever been sitting in a statistics class and they tell you to find the means, you write down the mean, the standard deviation, and you go to the next problem? You have no idea what you're doing? Well, that's not what we're doing. We're trying to figure out what the numbers are telling us. And the number, what I'm trying to get y'all to learn here is the middle is what makes all the difference. The middle. You've got to focus on the middle. 3 numbers. The median, the mean, and the midpoint. I'm sorry, the mid-range. Okay? Now let's change a couple of numbers. Let's change this number right here, and you don't have to do this. Just watch. Change that to 45. Change this to 42. Notice the numbers. What's the mean versus the median? Well, it's not too bad. Mid-range, way out of wampus. Why? Because this 45 right here and this 42. Let's change this to 33 and a 33. And you're starting to see right here the median and the the mean and the mid-range. Look at them. They're about the same. Now the median is not, because the median, let's see if I messed up. Did I mess up? No, I didn't mess up. Well, the median is a little bit off, not too far off, because you're talking about 27 here, 28 here, and 31 here. It's a little bit off, but not much. Change this to a 32, and go up here and change this to a, let's see, change this to a 28, 27, 26, 25, and 24. And now you're starting to see what's the mean and the median starting to do? Starting to line up, because the numbers are not spread out as much. Now, remember, what are we going toward? We're going toward probability. Probability, you've got to worry about the predicting, and predicting has to do with the evaluation of the numbers, the calculation of the numbers, and the calculation of the numbers has to do with how you got your information, whether it's a survey or whatever. If you send out a survey and you get some numbers that are out of wampus, then that's going to throw off your interpretation, which is going to throw off your prediction. And if you're at Michelin and you're a director and you're throwing out a prediction for next year's budget, what happens if you're wrong? You get fired. You get termination. Yeah, from what is it called? Human resources. Those human resources is not a good phone call to get something from. Okay, that usually means we're concerned. You ever hear that word? We're concerned. That's bad. Okay, so everything, it's just like math has been told you ever since you were in 2nd grade. The math that you learn in 2nd grade the math that you learn in 3rd grade is dependent upon the math that you learn in 2nd grade. Well, in statistics and probability, you can't predict jack unless you interpret the numbers correctly. And you can't interpret the numbers correctly if you do a crazy survey or you count the numbers of every car out there, but you just forget to write down every other car. Okay? Then when you interpret the numbers and you calculate the numbers and you present that material for next year's budget, and you're a director or a supervisor or whatever the case may be, then not only are you going to look like you don't know what you're doing, you're probably not going to have a job next year because you're talking about dollars. Okay? So you got to know what the numbers are doing, not just write them down and say, okay, the mean is this and the standard deviation is this. Okay, what do you want me to do next? Okay? That's not the way it works. Okay? All right. Who's got questions?
It's kind of like the analysis they did on Hillary and Trump. She had a 98% chance of winning at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And it just zoomed. Mm-hmm. 2 hours later, it was totally reversed.
Well, a lot of people say, well, why are you talking about polls and statistics? I don't know. You figure it out. But a lot of the polls were correct, but we wasn't reading them correctly. And a lot of people are saying, what do you mean? Well, Trump's numbers were going up and down, but Hillary's numbers never changed. And the statisticians look back and they say, we should have been looking at those numbers, because what was happening is she was not gaining any support. He was. And by the time it ended, he had gained more support, and some of her people stayed at home and didn't vote. So we were reading the poll, not we, but they were reading the polls wrong. Sometimes polls will tell you the right stuff. It's just what you're looking for is not what you're looking for. So, and I know that has nothing to do with math. Anyway, let me call the roll and let me shut this off. Do.